If I look at Wednesday's homework, it says on the Golden Lantern restaurant's menu, the least expensive item is $17 less than the most expensive item. The least expensive item is $7.95. Write and solve an equation that represents M, the cost of the most expensive item. So just like we did in number 1, what I want to do here is I want to underline some of the most important information from this problem. The first piece that I need is the fact that the least expensive item is $17 less than the most expensive item. Now, before we talk about what that part of that equation means, I want to bring in another example. If I gave you the phrase 2 less than 5, if I asked you what 2 less than 5 was, you would automatically tell me that this was 3. And we get 3 by doing 5 minus 2 in order to get 3. So notice between the verb phrase and my expression that the order of the numbers is switched. So instead of the 2 being first in my expression, my 2 actually comes second. And instead of the 5 being second, it actually comes first. So if I say $17 less than the most expensive, that part of my equation to represent the least expensive item is going to be the most expensive minus $17, since we're switching the order again. The second important piece of information says that the least expensive item is $7.95. So I know that the least expensive item, it has to be equal to $7.95. The last piece of information that I need is the variable, which is M, the cost of the most expensive item. So when I replace the word most here, I'm going to replace that with the letter M. That way we can complete our equation. So in order to build my equation, I'll take all this information and put it all together. So I know that the least expensive item is $7.95. So that's getting put in place for the least expensive item. We said we're replacing the word most with the variable M. And then we said earlier that we need to subtract $17 in order to figure that out. So now that I have my equation, let's go ahead and solve. In order to solve this equation, just like we did for number 1, we're going to do the opposite of whatever I was given. Since I was given subtraction in my equation, I need to be able to add $17 on both sides in order to solve for M. Minus 17 and plus 17 are opposites of each other, so these will end up zeroing out, and you're just left with M on that side. Now all we need to do is work through $7.95 plus 17. Now what I would recommend that you do here is I would do some scratch work off to the side. So I'm going to bring in my little post-it note here, and we're going to do $17 plus $7.95. Now this is basic adding of decimals. Make sure that your decimal place stays lined up the whole time, and then you're just adding like you normally would. 0 plus 5 would be 5. 0 plus 9 would be 9. 7 plus 7 is 14, so 4 carry the 1. And then 1 plus 1 gives me 2. So that means that the most expensive item at Golden Lantern's restaurant needs to be $24.95. And then, of course, we always box our answer. Now, number 4 will be very similar to number 3, where you're either going to have addition or subtraction inside your equation. So whichever one you have inside your equation, make sure you always do the opposite. So go ahead and try number 4 on your own.